All right, another Sunday, another salvage sale. I also went and got burritos at BMX Gary after salvage sale, and we went to Bikefarm. So I got some stuff there too. Also been working on a bunch of projects. Follow me on Instagram. I went and did a little rando bike ride. Some of my favorite shops in town that use parts, and got this fork from Bikes for Humanity, which is like a nonprofit, and then I went over to Tomcat Bikes. He gave me a different fork just in case, and he had a bunch of Velo Orange, like new old stock Velo Orange stuff, some French bottom brackets, Swiss bottom bracket cups, some random rack bits, and he wanted to charge me $100 for everything, which was a good deal, but I just didn't have it. I ended up talking down to $50 for just the stuff I really wanted. So the $50 could have got a bunch of other stuff, but I don't have room for more stuff. So I got this good stuff from VO. I'm really excited with the French bottom brackets and the Swiss cups for the 1960 Allegro project, which everything's here for, and I need to get started on. So that's going to happen this month, in the next couple of days. I found the hubs I wanted to use, but I only found one front. I thought I had two rears and two fronts. I only found one front. It's a little crunchy. I'm afraid to open it. I need to bring them down here. I need to overhaul them, make sure it's good enough to build. So I got the new Velocity 650B rims for it. I need to take it over to Stoic Wheels and get the spoke calc done. I got a box of spokes in the garage sale, all brand new old stock DT Swiss spokes and nipples. I might have the right size. I might just build them myself. I never build wheels, but whatever. I know how to do it. It's fine. Save some money. Otherwise, I'll have Brian do it. And then I have everything else really for it. I got crusty versions of stuff. I have 2 or 3 versions of stuff that I like to do. I like to keep hoarding parts and making my mind later. Anyways, I went and got the fork for the Bridgestone free bike build, which is still kind of free. The fork I got for free. I did some brazing mods. It was way too tall, so I threaded it way down, cut a little bit off the top. So it's still too tall, a lot of spacers. I bought some cranks I might use for today. Bikefarm I'm about to look at. I want to pay $10 for them. Found a bar on Craigslist that a friend of mine up in North Portland has for sale. He's got a lot of old mountain bike stuff. It's steel. It's cool. It's very much like a Velo Orange clunker bar. It's like spray painted white. It's 22.2, so I'd have to get a BMX stem, or I have this Nitto like bull moose bar that someone cut way down. I'm thinking about taking that bar off, brazing the new bar on, making a crazy Nitto bull moose clunker bar. It might be too much. It might be completely awesome. So that might happen. My free bike build is getting a lot of labor. So I got that, but let's go through and I've also been working on the Mercian. I got this a while ago, I put it up for sale, saying I do all the mods if someone wanted to buy it. A couple people were interested, no one did it. So I just figured I'm going to go ahead and do all the mods and put it up for sale. And either way, the big swap meet is coming up this next week. And I don't think I'm going to take a bunch of junk parts no one's going to buy. I think I'm going to take some modded out stuff I built. So I'll be like, dude, this is what I make. Here's my stuff. Check it out. And maybe some people will be like, oh, dang, that's so cool. I want to buy all your stuff. I'll bring my bike in for mods. That's what I'm hoping. So working on this Mercian. Another kid, my friend had a customer. I just decided to move into a way more expensive place. I'm like, I can probably afford it. I'll get busier. And I've been dead. I've made $0 for like well over a week now. It's a little horrifying. I finally had a customer who's been talking to me for a couple of weeks. He finally brought up this gorgeous Trek Reynolds 531 70s Trek. Fork crown's kind of wide. The stays clearance is pretty good, but I'm going to dimple the stays just a little bit to make sure the clearance is like almost good enough for 650/42. It's a little tight. So we're going to dimple just a little bit. We're going to respace it and align it to 130. Do candy bosses for 650B. He's got one of those Ukrainian-made front racks that are going around. I haven't seen yet. He brought it in. It's all stainless. So I'm going to put some barrels on the fork for that as well. And some bottle bosses. He's going to use the old clamp-on vintagey power ratchet shifters and cable guides and not change the top tube. So he's going to keep it pretty classic, but change a little bit of stuff. So that is cool. I'll probably get that done in the next couple days. Maybe I'll make a video on it, because why not? It's fun. But let's look at all the weird junk I got at salvage sale. So I took a bag in. It looked like there's some new stuff. There's a lot of bikes. Everyone rushed over to the bikes. I went over to the junk parts that no one wants, and then the free box. And then more junk parts. I didn't even look at the bikes. I didn't care. I'll walk over, look at the wheels. There's nothing I wanted. There's one beat up used set of silver 700C fixed gear wheels, but they were like not in the regular problem. I'm like, dude, he's like, nah, I'm gonna build a single speed. I'm like, oh, all right, fine. Oh, which reminds me, like 2 days ago, I was home flipping through Facebook Marketplace like I do because I can't afford it. I don't need anything, and all I do is flip through it. And I found a set of single speed wheels. The guy listed for $75. It was like 5 blocks from me. I'm like, dude, I'll walk over and grab those right now. $40 cash. Didn't even haggle. I was like, I don't care if he says no and gets mad. And he's just like, yeah, sure, $40. What do I do with them? I should grab them. We should look at them. I think he said he got them like 15 or 20 years ago from J&B, like the bike shop. They had a big order. They're an add-on or a freebie or something weird. Been hanging in his basement for like 15 years. He's always meant to use them, never have. They've never been used. They are Wyman DP18s. This is like the knockoff Velocity. Everyone's like, these aren't really cool. These are pretty high quality. They're really high quality compared to modern cheapo single speed wheels. But the black Originate hubs are the same formula. Originate, like everybody branded hubs. Fixed free flip flop on the back, 700C, black, machine sidewall. These are cool. I bought a heat gun. I should use it to practice taking these stickers off and make these wheels more valuable to take these Wyman stickers off. So I gotta get some stuff together. I got a white wheel set, there's a black wheel set, I got a mismatch set that I just put on the little Coronado thing to finish it, so we put it up for sale. In case you want a little single speeds for sale for too much money, I'll give you a deal. And then I have like a red front deep V cheapy thing. I have a black front with red nipples, deep V thing. I'm looking for just a single used black wheel to match that stuff for cheap. But there was another cheap silver set at Bikefarm today. They're missing the nuts and the axles are all rusty from sitting outside. Otherwise, it looked like they had really low miles, single speed wheel set. I probably should have asked them. I don't have the money. They also hanging above the counter at a wheel I spotted. I was like, oh, that's a 650B. It's all silver. It's nice. I'm like, what is that? How much is it? And I realized it's my wheel. I built it. I donated it to them like 5 years ago. I tried to buy it back. I'm like, give me a really good deal in Core. I'll buy it. I need it for a dummy wheel for checking 650B stuff. And they're like, no. They had 120 on it. They reduced it to 80. I was like, reduce it again to like 40. I'll buy it. They're like, no. I'm like, it's my handwriting on it. I'm like, here's my price tag from Northern. I built this wheel. And by build, I mean I had Sugar Wheels build it for me with a ground ball rim to a Sun front hub. And we never sold it except for we did a lot of Sun wheels with dynamo front hubs. But I wanted one set in case someone wanted to save the weight and didn't want the dynamo. And sold the back wheel, never sold the front. If it had a dynamo in it, I would have bought it for 80 because I could put it in my display. Got the display back, but it doesn't have the wheel. I need a dynamo wheel for it. I need to order some rim, but I'm like, for 80 bucks, like I was gonna order some Atlases, which is the rim I mostly use. So might as well have my dummy wheel be that size, so it'll make it even easier to line the brakes, make sure I have the right spacing and things. I got some Rene Hurst used, mostly dead 650D 40T tires already from the junk box at salvage sale. I'm gonna put on them, for my frame fitting and double checking when I put candy bosses on and stuff. Double checking fit and clearance. I like having dummy wheels just sitting around. I hate to keep riding my bike down here and pulling the wheels off to use them that way. But I didn't buy it. I said it's still there in a couple weeks and I consider it. It's still there. I'm gonna keep nickel and dime, and one of them will eventually sell it to me. I'm like, it's got my handwriting on it. I already paid like $200 for that wheel. I haven't donated it to you. And it's been sitting here for 5 years. Come on. But this is cool. I'm gonna build a cool black single speed. All right. So the first thing I did, I have a used bucket of a bunch of old Mayfac stuff. I've already dug all the good stuff out. I went and looked because I just threw some scruffy stuff in. Here's a Shimano 105, like 10-speed era. It's a little moldy and a little dirty. It's missing the barrel adjuster, but it's a long cage rear derailleur. It's a little bit scuffy, but whatevs. I think I had an Ultegra one of these yesterday that was totally dead, and all I did is take the barrel adjuster out, so maybe I'll pop it in this. The first couple of threads look a little bit macked, so if I had all the way out with too much tension on it. So I might just run the tap through it real quick. Throw the barrel adjuster on, clean it up. I mean, it's only worth 20 or 25 bucks, but it's something. A black 9-speed era Shimano 105 front derailleur. It's dirty, but it's not very scruffy, and it has like No chain wear on the inside. There was two Dura Ace 7700 7-speed Dura Ace front derailleurs, both missing this bolt. They have the pinch bolt. I think these I think they were tie hardware from the factory, but I think I have some tie bolts with the tapered head that apply the right size. I got a big old giant bin of them a while ago. It's got a little bit of cage wear, but the outside is pretty clean. It's a little scruffy. I don't know. I'll probably just recycle it. Got one of these 28/6 silver clamps. This is what everybody wants and needs. Everyone who comes into that shop asks for them, and they're throwing them in the salvage sale. It is also missing the bolt. I think these take a slightly smaller head, so you have to find a not just hardware store bolt. You have to find the bike specific bolt. I probably have them. I always save those. So nice brazing front derailleur clamp. I think this is 28/6, but it's a nice front cable stop for a threadless bike. The barrel adjuster. I got a few, but they're always good to have. I dug through and I found these Avid brakes. They were always missing the bolts. Everyone likes to throw away the crazy expensive proprietary bolts. Here's one matching pair. They have all the hardware. They have replaceable pad shoes. I see the bolts. I saved the bolts. And then there was a third one. I never found the match. It might show up next week. I might let it sit on the bench for a week and then recycling it. I have too many. I mean, literally, I have like 4 overflowing buckets now of just cheap road brakes for doing like single speeds and stuff on like old road bikes. I have too many. I have a bunch for sale on eBay. No one cares. These have all the hardware. They have the barrel adjusters. They have replaceable pad shoes. Worst case, I will save these pad holders for something better and recycle them. But they're nice. Maybe I'll go donate to Bikefarm. I want to do a donation to Bikes for Humanity. Here's the other Dura Ace. It's a 28/6 clamp. It's also missing the bolt. It's got the pinch bolt. Oh, the derailleur adjuster screws are effed, and someone tried to drill them out and just made a mess. That's a shame, because that clamp is hot. You never see these in a 26 clamp. It's a shame. Those are destroyed. I wanted to get out with an easy out. It's got a tiny bit of chain. Oh, this is pretty nice other than that. I might just be stealing these pinch bolts. Suntour, Mountech, front derailleur. It is pretty clean. It's got the hardware. It's also missing the pinch bolt. People just cannot. You pull the bolt out, just thread it back in a couple of threads so you don't lose it. This is the pinch bolt. I have some new old stock Suntour clamps that no one wants to buy because they're 25/4 clamps, like old Schwinn's. And I kind of grabbed them from Sunday salvage sale because I got a case of them because they have all the brand new bolts. So I might just open one of those and steal the bolt out of it. Because this is a pretty nice Mountech front derailleur. It's barely got any chain rub on the inside. It's barely through the finish. It's not dug in anywhere. And a little bit on this side. People, trim your shifter. Don't just drag your chain on your derailleur. It's pretty nice. You might want it. I don't know. A random chunk of a brake. I think it's SRAM. So I had the barrel adjuster. Oh, it's all bent. I don't care. It's going to recycling. Found a single old Sagino plastic dust cap. I have for a crank cap. I have a zillion of these. Sagino. So I'll just save it and fill the rest of them. This is something they never have at the shop. And I've made them order it. When I worked there, I stole these off every dead derailleur. I had to go to recycling. There's a little half-round washer for front brazing derailleurs. Bag of these. Like this brazing clamp cannot work without this little half-round washer. This is one of the only styles you can still get. Yeah, I'll just throw that away. We don't need the one thing that everyone's always looking for that no one ever has because everyone loses it. They are mostly galvanized, so no one cared, but they all have the rare and expensive Diacomp fat half-round ferrule. It's a bunch of Diacomp road levers that you cannot use without this ferrule, mostly from the 90s. So I grabbed a bunch of them. I'm just going to take these ferrules off and then recycle these galvanized cables. You can't use galvanized cables. Maybe in California. You cannot do it in Portland. It rains here. They rust instantly. Start causing problems. There's one set of, definitely brand new shift cables. They have the little C on them. These are Campy head specific shift cables. They have a slightly smaller head for Campy shifters. You can take a regular cable and just grind it down a little bit in a bench grinder. It's ugly and it's dumb. The Campy ones are cool. I usually get 10 or 15 bucks a pair for these, like new old stock on the internet. So I think they're probably 10 or 15 dollars a piece. You have to order them new. So I grabbed them. I might need them someday. There's a little bucket, just a little bucket full of hardware. I couldn't resist. 1 1/8" headset spacer. Ooh, 1 pair of skinny 22 flat bar rubbery plugs. These are impossible. I never have flat bar plugs. I always just have road drop plugs. So that's nice. 1 really bent piece of metal I won't use. Another bent piece of metal I don't know what it's for. And a few random ugly bolts. It's all recycling, but whatever, it's fun. This tire's been staring at me. They have the pair, but the back is kind of flat. It's probably on a fixed gear. The front's good. It's an old Continental Grand Prix 723. It's red. It's got the reusable bead tie on it. I love reusable bead ties, so I always take them off their junk and save them and use them around the shop. I have a bunch of used tires. I got that red front wheel. I got that red bullhorn. I need a red tire in the back to balance it out. I can use it on any old black single speed wheel. Or on any old tight racy frame. I just brought my bucket of tires here. I have like a frame box just full of tires. So I can't stop buying cool tires that are in good shape or whatever. Also, sometimes I buy them in a batch. This thing's like almost brand new. Unless there's a giant gash in it or something, it is well worth the $0 I paid for it. It's sitting there for weeks and weeks and weeks. I just threw it in the bag and said, $20 for my whole bag. He's like, ugh, fine. I really didn't get that much. Most of this stuff is out of the free box, honestly. Tire. Someone put this in my bag as a joke. It's a beat up Saval vintage style pump. It's a mountain Saval. It's huge. It is so fat. And it works. It works totally fine. And it's spring loaded. And it's got pump peg stuff. It's a little beater and ugly. Maybe this will go on the free Bridgestone build because it was free. It's small, it's for fat tires, and then I can do the pump peg braze on that bike, and I love doing mods. I want to do a mod on that bike. Make it more my own. This is great. Super stoked about this weird 90s pump. I got a few bars. I wasn't going to get any bars. I got some bars. They had 3 of these Chinelli used bars. Oh, this course is mislabeled. Chinelli 6442s. People like the wider ones. 42s about as wide as they came back in the day. A little later, they did some 44s. Chinelli measures their bars outside to outside. These look bent as shit, though. Aw, man. They're the prettiest ones up here. The rest are really scruffy up here. These look super bent. Let's measure them. So Chinelli does outside to outside, so it should be about 42. They are 45. What? 42.5 inside to inside. It says 25.4 on them. These might be a weird later one. Maybe these are the later remake ones. This one definitely looks open to me. This one looks pretty straight. I don't know. Maybe they're not bent. From this angle, this one looks like crazy bent. This one looks so bent. This one looks a little bent. And my eyes are just playing tricks on me. I don't know. Sometimes I'll measure the outside right to the very center of the bar clamp. So this is like 27 centimeters. This will sort of tell me if one of them is bent, usually. It's also 27 centimeters. It might just be my eyes being playing tricks me today. They're getting worse. I got this one bar. It's a little scruffy here, low below the logo. You barely ever see it. They had 2 other scruffy ones. Whatever. I do have to measure them to the bar clamp. Like really early 60s Chinelli stuff with the steel stems, they were 25.4. Almost all their alloys are 26.4 all through the 60s, 70s, and 80s. In the 90s, at some point, they re-released a lot of stuff. They usually have a milkier, slightly darker anodizing, and I think that stuff was 26 though. But these being 25.4 is probably not a thing. So I'm measuring 20. My measuring thing says 27, so probably got some dirt on here. Yeah, these are definitely 26.4. People are crazy. Don't mislabel stuff, man. I even made them a set of bars. I took a bunch of these old bars and cut them here and here to make a. Oh, I have some sitting around probably. So I cut them. Here's some Chinellis that I cut, drilled a hole in so you can zip tie them all together, and then I usually sand them and stamp them. So I stamp these 26.4, I stamp these 26.0, so you can check stems to see what actual size is. Sometimes the calipers will 25.4 bars seem crazy loose sometimes, but they really the 26.0 will not fit. So you can check 26, 26.4, 25.4 because they're just too hard to eye. So I made him a set of those, and you can check, and then you can label all your stems, and you can use the stems to check some bars. But whatever, I just had one of these that sat on eBay for a couple of months, but I ended up getting like $38 for it, so I grabbed this one. It's not bad, it's nice. It's going on eBay. eBay. Then I dug around some more, and there's this black straight bar. It's just got a little bit of a bend to it. I don't know. It's alright. It's cool. It's alloy, but it's heavy, it's thick, it's cheap. It's a little anno sun faded, but not much. You know, whatever. And I left and I went and dug around again. I was looking through the bars some more, and there was this bar, and I wasn't going to get it, but then I fell in love with it. It's Modolo. It's like bright silver anodized. The logo's a little rubbed off. 6X Tenos. It's not super light. It seems wide to me. Let's measure it. Outside to outside is 46.5. Center to center is 44. That is a wide Italian bar. I bet it's 26.0. It's wide. It's vintage, but it's like, you know, more late 80s to the 90s, the Aero stuff. I don't know. I could not get it. I just could not get it. Modolo. Then I dug around again, and a kid has been looking for this bar. He dug through this bin too. I dug through this bin. We both missed it. I saw it and pulled it out, and it's a Soma Noah's Ark bar. It's pretty scuffy. Half the Soma logo is missing, but the Noah's Ark's there. It's just a little flat bar that's bent a little bit. I don't know. They're kind of cute. Little cruiser type bikes without being too cruisery. It's a little tiny bit scruffy. It's cool. I grabbed it. I'll use it. I'll absolutely use this on the build. Usually a tiny build. I got two. And then I went through and dug around one last time, and I grabbed this bar because it's a little modern. It's really for threadless stems. It's like a weird fat transition. Sometimes these are a real trick with coil stems. It's got a couple scruffs. It's got a little paint. But you know, it's a riser. A tiny bit of sweep. This is my favorite for fixed gears. It is like the... Oh, it's got both the bar and plugs. That's nice. CRO 60. I don't know. That means for 26.0. I don't know. T60, 61, T6. It's still like heavy. But it's flat black. I get all these flat black seat posts. It's so hard to find gloss seat posts. All my stems are gloss. All my seat posts are flat black. Got flat black bar. So I can do some sort of build. Got a little matchy. I don't know. Couldn't help myself. Didn't even want it. Didn't even need it. Have so many. And that was it for Sunday salvage sale. I offered him $20. He took it. Easy peasies. Then I went over to Bikefarm. This is the first thing I noticed. Is a broken road morph pump. These are my favorite pumps. They don't actually make them anymore, but every once in a while, like a bunch will pop up into old stock someplace. Like someone will find like a couple cases of them. They're spring loaded. The head and this thread all the way out. So you're left with just an aluminum hollow barrel with threads. So you'd have this painted or powder coat to match. I've even stripped these and polished them, but the aluminum's weird and did not like to polish. This is the 54 to 59, so I think this is the, it's either the medium or the large. It's one of the sizes I like to use. I got it just for a frame builder tool. If I find some more of these, I can have this jacked up one to be testing and fitting frames and fitting pump pegs onto frames that I mail them to people. So I think it charged me $1 because it was broken and missing the head. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to use it as a tool. This way I won't ever sell it. The problem is I get something nice. I have one pump for doing frame building, and then I ended up wanting to use it on my own bike, so now I don't have one. I had to look around, but I couldn't find, they usually have a little bin of bash guards, and it wasn't with the chain rings. I had to ask somebody, and they had it behind the counter for some reason. I dug around, and this is the only small 5-bolt circle bash guard. It is silver. It's kind of big. I put a 36 tooth behind it, and it's real little. So it should probably be more like a 40 or 42. So I don't know if I'll ever use it. I'm gonna sit around. They charge me $2. It's not too scruffy. It's pretty shiny and ugly and modern silver. I grabbed it, and I went to their cranks, and they usually have no good cranks. Here is a little scuffy, but not super scuffy. It's pretty lightly scuffy. Set of Sagino 175 J10s. These are pretty. They're very much like their Ritchie cranks. The Ritchie ones have like a little point on the top, so not the Ritchie ones. Have the hidden bolt, which is always dumb and a pain in the butt. They've already got a single old Suntour AccuShift chainring on here, but it's totally worn out. It's a 36, which is a shame. That's cool. I wonder if I could get a smaller ring and use this as a bash guard. Probably not. It's probably just recycling. It's got single speed chainring bolts, but one of them's cracked. Two of them are really macked. Oh, two of them are cracked. So they'll all come off and go away. The tapers look all right. I can't really tell. I need to get in there and scrub them. They might be almost maxed out. I might get one more press. But for $10, I wasn't happy with the cranks I had for the Bridgestone free bike project. I'm pretty happy with these. Put a chain ring in a bash guard. I think of a Ritchie outer ring that's really cool. I'm looking for an excuse to cut the teeth off and grind it and make it into a bash guard. So I might do this Ritchie bash guard. I should do a video on that. I think I've done it in a video before. No one cared, but I might do it again. I just put an inner ring on here. So that's cool. Very happy with that. I found a set of U-bolts. These are like for old style racks to like bolt around your fork. I just got a very minty condition old style rack. It was missing the U-bolts. I think the vintage ones maybe had a slightly thinner U-bolt, but here is a pair of minty condition U-bolts. I'm gonna hook them onto that rack to make that rack more valuable. It's missing one little acorny nut thing. This is so you don't scratch yourself. Any hardware store has those. And one of these Suntour clamp-on down tube shift cable stops. So you can clamp on your down tube, and if your bar end shifters come into here, these things go for like $35 on eBay. They're like, we have bins of these. It has the wrong bolt, but again, those new old stock Suntour derailleurs. I have a bunch with the right bolt. I might just steal it because it's got the right nut with the wrong bolt. So I might steal the bolt out of one of those. And clean it up a little bit. I hoard these. I probably have 5 or 10 of them, but every once in a while I sell them. People need them. And yeah, whenever you need one of these, they're impossible to find anywhere for any amount of money except for eBay for $35. So it's made me start hoarding them. So I grabbed one. I didn't even look through their bin. I just found this like a random bin of unsorted stuff. I always go to their new bin of unsorted stuff. I got this. I have no idea what it is. It is a Giotto desk patent, Rogers, Arkansas. I have no clue. But it looks like the Park tool thing that like sits on a post that mounts onto your wheel truing stand. You put your dial indicator in to true brake rotors. But it looks really old. It looks like it's from the 80s. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing, if I can make it work on my stand. I think this is 1/2 inch maybe. I can use a piece of 1/2 inch tubing. Or a piece of 1/2 inch just steel. I probably have something. This whole giant bar is 1/2 inch. I could just braze a flat plate on or braze a nut into it so I can bolt it to my park stand, and then maybe it'll fit a dial indicator. I'm not sure. Oh, not even close. I mean, I could drill this out maybe to size and fit the dial indicator in it. I think a lot of the cheaper park stuff just had a steel rod that you put through and touches your... But the dial indicator is better. I know I have an extra dial indicator around here somewhere. So maybe you can do that, or maybe I bought it for absolutely no reason. He didn't know what it was, so he charged me $1. Maybe I'll never use it. Maybe I'll make my own disc brake wheel truing jig, and that would be super sick. That's it. That's all my stuff. I don't even know what I paid at Bikefarm. I think I paid $13 for everything, and $20 at CCC. But this customer dropped off his blue truck, so I'm going to get started on it. And I just got to do the final little sanding, a little filing on the fillets and the candies on the Mercian. It'll be done and cleaned up and ready to take to the swap meet and show it off. That free Trek fork I got, it's in, or then the free mountain bike fork that I got for the Bridgestone. Did all the work on it. I brazed in some rack mounts on the side, so I want to do like probably a front basket, just have it come mount to the side instead of all the way down to the fork. This is cooler. So I brazed those dudes in. And I wanted to have some mods on it. I mean, I'm building this bike. I want to do some mods. I do mods. I put my cool mod sticker on it. I want to be all modded out. Mod, bro, with mods. And I also started working on the front rack for my new handmade bike. So my 3/8 tubing from the Humans 3/8 028 wall, so it is very, very light, even though it's a little thick. And I want to do like a waterfall kind of rack. Something about like this. And I kind of wanted this to come right down and bolt onto the front brazons and then go through. I got these bends just slightly off. One is just slightly longer than the other, and it's making me mad. And it would make it stick out too far in the front. I was thinking 2 inches would be good, but I think that's kind of ugly. I want to bring it down. So I'm probably going to cut these off and weld them onto the back of here like that, and then make new legs. And I'm going to do a big U leg like the Velo Orange rack or any other old Percor rack, and maybe a bar on it so I can do some little panniers if I want. The only thing I'm not liking is the size. I want it to be 16 inches, which it is, 16 by 12. I want to stick like here. Then this is a big gap, so it's like a 6-inch gap here. This is a 4-inch gap. So I'm not sure if I like it. I might try and rebend this and not have it be a perfect bend. I've been using my benchtop bender for this. This is a big half round. So this is benchtop bender, and then this bottom bend, you can see the difference. This is the big half round from the benchtop. The bottom one's a tighter one, my little hand bender. I like the half round bender better, even though you can barely tell. Probably no one will be able to tell. I'm thinking about trying to redo this on that, do the bend, move 1.5 inches, then do the bend on the other side, see if it still make it look graceful, like a one solid bend. Put that in the middle, so it takes up more space, so these would all be perfectly spaced. Instead of 6, 4, and 6, I can do 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, or something like that. So I might play with this some more, because once this rack's done, it means I have to actually go drop this bike off to get powder coated. So I don't have any money. I did talk to, I was at Bikefarm, one of the volunteers there. He brought his bike to me a few weeks ago. You might have remembered it. It was the cool vintage Miata 615. And 650 candy bosses, and shift bosses, and bottle bosses, and a bunch of cool mods. I'll try and post some pictures here if I find them. So he was there, he was volunteering, and he said he dropped it off a powder coat. He went to CC Coatings, where I used to go a lot. And he said their price is still $150. I thought it'd be through the roof. They used to be the most expensive at $150, and now I think they're probably the cheapest at only $150. Because I haven't had a dropped bike off a powder in over 5 years. It was 2020 when it's like January 2020 when I closed the shop. And it's 2025 now. So they're still only $150. They used to charge extra for more stuff. I mean, one time they charged me $150 just for a rack. I was so mad. So I might take it down there and try and schmooze them up. So I'm going to throw in the pump and the rack for the same price. Trying to decide if I want to do the pump and the rack a complementary color or make it match. I'll probably make it match. This would be cheaper and easier. Complementary color would be cool. But then I want to do the head too, or the lugs. I could always do the little holes. Try and find some nail polish the same color as the complementary color, and try to do little holes. I drilled the lugs, maybe outline the lugs. I got a real, I should show you. Ooh. This is like a pinstriper or artist's fluid writer pen. So it's just this little pen, it's just a little cup, and you put like liquid paint or one shot in it or anything, and then you can write with it. So it's really good for like cranks that the logo is engraved in, like Shimano 600 to race. You can come put it in here and get that to fill out and look really, really nice. And then if you spill a little bit, you just wipe off the top and let the bottom be full. But this might be good for doing a little lug line. I think it might be good for filling those little holes. It was like $8 on eBay. I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll buy some one shot pinstripers paint. But those are all the millions of projects and things I'm doing this week. Excited about this rack. My racks are made out of Chrome Ollie 4130 aircraft tubing. They are way stronger than anything you buy, and they're way lighter. Everything you can buy is heavy, thick, cheap seamed steel, or really thick aluminum or solid bar stock of stainless. Like factory racks are heavy, and they're usually rated for like 7 pounds, like 14 kilos, because they're just cheap, they don't want to bend. My racks are insane. I have no problem putting 50 pounds of groceries and my 15-pound dog in this riding home. No problemo. And never even worry about it. Oh, and then I can ride this bike. I just don't want to pay for paint, and I don't want to deal with sanding it. My friends said help me powder coat it. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to drop it off and have it done. I got all the wheel stuff with that Vel Orange order. I got all the wheel stuff to Brian at Stoic. He might have already built my wheels. He joked the other day that he might do it because he had nothing else to do. I don't know if he did or not. He didn't tell me. So I gotta check in with him. I just got some like used tires for it. I need to get nice tires. I was at Bicycle Emporium the other day. I was doing my rando errands, and Jeff had a set of the cheaper WTB or whatever tires that are brand new. So I'm like, what are those for? It's like, oh, I think those are for something. I'm like, what? How long have I been sitting there? Like 5 years? Come on. Something to be cheap. I'll put them on a new bike. Eventually I'll order some Compass tires, but whatever. Whatever. Starting with what I got. I have a set. They're not too scruffy. It'll look alright. They'll get dirty immediately anyway. It doesn't matter. I have all the parts for that bike. Unless I can't think of something. Unless I need some tiny adapter or something. I have everything. Things ready to build. I was thinking about just building it in bare metal and slapping my decals on it. Just not even caring. Saving the money on the powder coat to write it like that for a few years. Maybe eventually pulling it apart when I'm writing something else. And then getting the powder. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? It might be fun. I kind of want to. I think I might. It'd be cool. Anyways, that's my video. Thanks for watching, and I will start a new how-to video on... I was going to do one on rack building, but then I was like, I haven't built one in 5 years. I should probably get my mojo back before I do one. So maybe I'll do another one, a little cute little handlebar bag rack for something. Build a custom rack for the beater Bridgestone free bike. That'd be hilarious. Anyways, thanks for watching.